If your budget build revolves around the Ryzen 5 5500, picking the right cooler can still be tricky. Although this Zen 3 chip doesn't run too hot, going too cheap can lead to problems, and at the same time, you don't want to overspend. Buying a CPU cooler is never simple. That's why I've narrowed it down to two CPU coolers. One is a budget-friendly cooler that offers decent performance, wide compatibility, and a bit of RGB, and the other is a dual-tower design that delivers high-end cooling at a mid-range price. You'll find details and current pricing in the description below. Let's start with the budget cooler first. The Thermalright Assassin X 120 is a CPU cooler that puts many pricier coolers to shame. If you have a cheaper and less demanding CPU, like a Ryzen 5 5500, this is arguably your best option. It rivals the performance of the best single-tower coolers on the market and even features an ARGB fan. The lineage of the Assassin X 120 Refined SE is interesting, as it's an improved version of the original Thermalright Assassin X 120. That original cooler was a single-tower option with a 120mm fan, basic design, and no RGB. The Assassin X 120 Refined SE brings a more polished heatsink design, better mounting hardware, and a slightly upgraded fan. The version we're looking at today is the ARGB version, which simply adds an ARGB fan on top of the Refined SE. Out of the box, this cooler comes with a tube of Thermalright TF4 thermal paste, mounting hardware for Intel and AMD platforms, the single-tower heatsink, and the addressable RGB 120mm fan. In terms of design, Thermalright uses 4 direct touch copper heat pipes that effectively move heat away from the CPU. These are arranged in a U shape at the bottom and have a nickel-plated pure copper coating on top of them. The fin stack is constructed of 99% pure aluminum, and the top of the cooler has a matte black cover to round off the look. The appearance is relatively simple. Its fin array is silver, while the fan and the top of the cooler are painted black. Thankfully, the ARGB fan does add some color to the mix, but this is an otherwise basic-looking cooler. That's not exactly a downside for the price, but something that might steer you away if you're looking for something flashy. The ARGB TLC12CS fan is a 120mm fan with a maximum speed of 1,550 RPM. It's a high static pressure fan that moves an air volume of 66.17 cubic feet per minute. Noise levels are also quite respectable, as it maintains a maximum level of 41 decibels at full load. If you're using a less power-hungry CPU like the Ryzen 5 5500, those noise levels will drop even further. Testing with an ambient temperature of 23 degrees Celsius, the Ryzen 5 5500 maintains a maximum temperature of 70 to 75 degrees Celsius. Even with higher-end processors like the 14700K, the temperature never exceeds 83 degrees. Of course, you won't be using this cooler with high-end CPUs, so its performance is quite impressive when paired with the right chip. Installation is also dead simple for both Intel and AMD processors. You just have to remove your old bracket, install the new one included in the box, and attach the heatsink with 2 simple screws. Next, attach the fan with the included clip, and you're good to go. In terms of competition, the only comparable coolers around the same price are the ID Cooling SE214XT and the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Spectrum V3. All 3 coolers look about the same, but the Thermalright has the best performance in terms of acoustics and thermals. Since performance is the most important metric at this budget, it's my go-to recommendation. So, the Assassin X 120 won't blow you away with its design, but its impressive thermal and acoustic performance is excellent for the price. For entry-level and less demanding CPUs, this is a very easy recommendation from my side. To sum up, what I like is the fantastic price-to-performance ratio, the compact single-tower design, the ARGB fan at a dirt-cheap price, and the low noise levels. On the downside, somewhat basic-looking. Ratings: Design, 7 out of 10. Performance, 8 out of 10. Installation, 8 out of 10. Noise levels, 9 out of 10. Value, 9 out of 10. For an overall rating of 8 out of 10. Before we continue to my top pick, it would really help us continue making more videos if you support us by just hitting the like button and subscribe, or even with a comment so that I know if you like it or if there's something I can do to improve next time. I promise it costs nothing, just a few seconds. So now let's continue with the best value CPU cooler for the Ryzen 5 5500. The Thermalright Phantom Spirit 120 Evo is currently the best air cooler on the market. It has a sleek all-black appearance, tasteful RGB lighting, highly impressive performance, and a very aggressive price point. It easily beats higher-end competitors, both in terms of performance and price, so it's a safe recommendation as the best value CPU cooler these days. This variant builds on the foundation of its predecessor, the original Phantom Spirit 120, which already earned praise for its dual-tower efficiency. This time round, the Evo version features 7 heat pipes instead of 6, a denser fin array for better heat dissipation, and improved high-performance fans. Design-wise, the Phantom Spirit 120 Evo has a very stealthy appearance. It's a dual-tower cooler with a staggered aluminum fin array, 58 fins per tower, and has a matte black coating on top that gives it a sleek, industrial look. The fan stacks are asymmetrical, which improves RAM clearance. It comes with 2 TLK12 fans with RGB lighting zones at the corners, and they're rated for 1500 RPM with a quiet 25.6 decibel noise level. Out of the box, you get a generous tube of Thermalright TF7 thermal paste, a universal mounting kit for Intel LGA 1700/1200, and AMD AM5/AM4, and a low-profile screwdriver for hassle-free installation. The cooler's dual-tower design adds some heft at 750 grams, but the reinforced backplate ensures motherboard flex isn't an issue. However, this cooler does have a gigantic footprint, meaning it won't fit into most ITX cases. In fact, it might even have some trouble fitting into micro ATX cases, which is something to be aware of. Thankfully, all that size is put to good use with impressive performance. When testing with high-end processors like the Ryzen 9 9800X3D, the temperatures peak at around 82 degrees Celsius depending on the application. That's while pushing the CPU to 100% load, so the results are nothing to scoff at. Noise levels at full load were around 45 decibels. It's important to note that since this is a relatively affordable cooler, it's perfectly usable for cheaper CPUs like the Ryzen 5 5500. With less power-hungry CPUs, expect temperatures of around 60 to 65 degrees even at full load. Noise levels will drop similarly, staying at or around the 40 decibel mark. Installation is straightforward for a dual-tower cooler. The spring-loaded screw mounts eliminate uneven pressure, and the pre-applied silicone fan gaskets dampen vibrations. AMD users can install it in minutes using the stock AM5 brackets, while Intel builders get a no-nonsense backplate and standoff system. In terms of competition, the only cooler that provides such high-end performance at a low price is the Deepcool AK620. Both coolers have clean designs, fantastic performance, and low noise levels. The only problem is that Deepcool products are not available anymore in the US due to sanctions, giving the Thermalright cooler an anticlimactic win by default. In summary, the only thing that might bother you about this cooler is its gigantic size. However, if you can fit it into your case, you're getting a beast that can outperform competitors that are twice its price. I highly recommend it for both entry-level, mid-range, and even some high-end CPUs. To sum up, what I like is the unparalleled performance for the price, the sleek design and appearance, the low noise levels at full load, and there's plenty of clearance for RAM. On the downside, it's not compatible with most mini ITX cases. Ratings: Design, 8 out of 10. Performance, 9 out of 10. Installation, 9 out of 10. Noise levels, 9 out of 10. Value, 9 out of 10. For an overall rating of 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching! Remember, you can check prices in the description below. And if you're interested in more PC building suggestions and hardware reviews, be sure to check out more of my videos. Before you go, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to stay updated, and let me know your opinion and suggestions in the comments. See you in the next one.